anniversary today. And I asked him to share a testimony of a miraculous healing. And as soon as he's done, he's going to minister to us and the worship team, and we're going to have prayer down front. I'd like the leaders that are going to pray to come, and I want to anoint you with oil before you pray.
Good morning. That's good. Actually, it's Tuesday. It's not today. We thought that it was today, but it was Tuesday. I talked to my mom. She's like, no, it's the 6th, not the 4th. But me and my wife were talking yesterday, and she's like, hey, you're coming up on your 5-year anniversary of your accident. And she's like, hey, we should tell Pastor. You can give your testimony. I'm like, no, don't do that. Because I'm horrified when it comes to speaking in front of people. You know, when it comes to singing, I'm good. You know, stick me back there on the mic with you know, I'm good. But when it comes to speaking, that's just not me. But in my weakness, God has been strong. So that's what I'm banking on. If you want to put that first picture up there, we'll get to that. That's me, by the way, back there hugging that big Citadel. About 5 years ago, as of Tuesday, we went to Florida. It was me and she wasn't my wife then, but Desi. She went, and then there was 12 other college students. We just all went down there. You know, we were a good Christian bunch, just wanting to get away for vacation. So I went to Florida, Kissimmee, actually, which is south of Orlando, I think. And we stayed in a really nice condo there. And if you want to show that next picture. That Simba doll actually was in the master bedroom. And they moved it, the master bedroom was upstairs. And they moved it into the little hallway there. And there was a balcony overlooking the living room area there. And so that's me. We were playing jokes on each other. So that's why the Simba was moved. And so it was Tuesday, about 11 or so, and we just finished up some good brunch, and I was watching History Channel or something. Everybody like History Channel? Yeah, it's good, isn't it? So that's what I was watching. And all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, thump, they had taken that Simba doll, two of my friends, and they chucked it over the balcony onto me. And it hit me, and you guys think I'm crazy, but it really did happen. And people that I tell this to are like, what? Are you serious? But then I have pictures to prove it. So, and Jesse was there. But they took the Simba doll and they chucked it over the balcony, and it hit me in the back of the head. And it took my C6 and C7 vertebrae in the back of my neck, and it lodged into my spinal cord. And I was paralyzed instantly from the neck down. I just remember feeling tingles and then nothing. And I looked down, and they were moving my feet, but I couldn't feel them moving my feet. And it was a very scary time in my life. And so they rushed me to the hospital, and they did all sorts of tests on me and found out that, you know, my neck was broke and that, you know, I was paralyzed. They didn't think I would ever walk ever again, even with surgery. But they rushed me into surgery anyways. And my parents came up about that time. And I think my mom started to cry. I'm sorry. She I told her I was giving my testimony this morning. She's like, well, I can't promise you I won't cry. It's been 5 years, and it seems like it wasn't even me, but it still happened. And there I am. And that lady came in and played guitar for me. Oh, she really couldn't play guitar very well. But she did her best, and I was blessed to have her there. And then this is my first time ever standing up, even though they told me that I wasn't going to be able to stand up or walk again. But, you know, I had people praying for me everywhere. I was praying, my family was praying. We had a mission group from Campus Ministries that went to Poland. They were praying in Poland. So around the world, people were praying for me. And there I am standing. So, yeah. It wasn't long after that, they had me out walking, and then there I am talking on the phone out in the little courtyard area. And then there I am in Louisville, if you want to hold there for a second on the picture. There I am doing, they took me to Louisville, and I spent about 3.5 weeks there, which they said I'd be there about 7 or 8. So my recovery was just phenomenal, and I know who to attribute it to. You know, God healed me. And you want to show the next picture. And And there I am on a treadmill, and my grandma, she just had her birthday yesterday. She turned 71. She was there. And there I am on a treadmill, if you want to keep going. There I am with my mom. Yeah, she's right there. If you want to stand up, and I'm going to embarrass you, but she's good. She's good. She's like, I'm not standing up. But my parents, they were amazing, and they were strong for me there. They spent, when I was in Louisville, I was never alone because one of them was there regardless, and they spent trips back and forth, and it's like an hour and a half from my house to Louisville, and they were awesome, and I'm so thankful for godly parents that loved me and supported me in that time. If you want to show the next picture, and there I am. Those are my hands, and you can tell. They weren't where they needed to be quite yet. They were kind of like this. Because actually the bones that were broken, that area actually affected my hands the worst. So I was like, oh man, I'm never going to get to be able to play piano again. I'm never going to be able to pick a guitar up again. But I prayed, and people prayed for me, and my recovery was amazing. And I don't know, do I have any more pictures? Or I may have one more. And there I am with my neck brace on, playing keyboard of the piano. I think that might be the last picture. But I went in November of the same year to my neurology doctor in Louisville, and he came in, and I stood up and walked over to shake his hand, and he was just blown away. He's like, this never happens, Because if anybody knows anything about spinal cord damage, for the most part, it's irreversible, supposedly, but I know a guy who can. Amen. So, I just want to share this one verse with you. There's one set of scriptures, and then I'll be done. It's out of Isaiah, and actually, Pastor kind of touched on it a little bit when we were doing communion. And it's 53, 4 through 5, I guess, 4 and 5. And it says, surely he took up our infirmities and carried our sorrows, yet we considered him stricken by God, smitten by him and afflicted. But he was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was upon him, and by his wounds we are healed. And so, I'm just here to say that God can, God will, and God is able. And Jesus already provided the means by which we are healed, both spiritually and physically. So it's already been done. It's a done deal. All you have to do is say, Jesus, I want that. And Jesus will say, I'm willing. So, thank you guys. And I guess I'm going to hop on the keyboard and thank you so much.
Praise the Lord. Isn't that an awesome testimony? You know what? God's no respecter of persons. What he did for Andy, he can do for anybody. It's by faith. It's by trusting in him. It's by reaching out to him. We're here to pray for people like our leaders to come. And as you have needs, we're just going to anoint each of